Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and to all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. Quick reminder, if you've never subscribed, just to remind you to click that red button there that says subscribe, and after that click the bell sign. That way you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys about this Chinese guy that has been made a chief in Kano in Nigeria. It was actually one of you that sent me this news, and I decided to look into it, and I read about it on a few websites, and basically from what I understand from reading all of this is that this Chinese guy has been living in Nigeria for I think about 30 years or something like that. He's been living in Nigeria for about 30 years, and he's a businessman. He used to be a teacher in his country. He's a businessman or whatever. But from what they explained from the articles that I read is that he's not like a chief in the he's not like a chief in the community, like you know, like the chief of a village or a clan or stuff like that. No, from what they explained is that they just made him a chief, and this chieftaincy title just what's the word, how it makes him a leader of Chinese people in a particular market or something like that. So it makes him, if I'm not mistaken, it makes him a chief for his own community, so that way, from what he explained, is like a way to have a leader among the Chinese in this particular business environment. That's what the thing said. I'll try and read a bit the way it's written on this. A leader of the Chinese community in northern Nigeria has been crowned or turbaned as a chief by the emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. The emir holds a lot of influence and is a religious and cultural leader in the region. At a traditional ceremony in Kano, Mike Zhang took the title of Wankilin Yang China, meaning the leader of the Chinese residents, as his head was wrapped in a turban. This ceremony is a recognition of the growing importance of the Chinese community in Kano, the largest city in northern Nigeria. BBC Hausa editor Jima Saleh says there are a lot of Chinese businesses and traders in the city who are sometimes accused of taking other people's jobs and engaging in unfair competition. Mr. Zhang will be a vital link between the Chinese community and the locals. The BBC reports that with this appointment, Mr. Zhang will be expected to be attending meetings at the Emir's Palace and may wish to take part in the traditional horse riding festival known as a Doba, along with his entourage during Eid festivals. The Kano Emirate said that the appointment followed an increase in the number of Chinese businessmen who engage in different forms of businesses, a unified leadership structure. One member of the Kano Emirate told the BBC that the Emirate needs a liaison officer to solve conflicts that emanate from business transactions between Chinese and Kano traders. So basically that's what they're trying to say. He's just there to be the leader of the Chinese people. Initially when I heard about it, oh, Chinese man made a chief in Kano, I was like, okay, like, that is strange, that is unusual, why would they do that? And then when I read that, I was like, okay, makes sense, you know, from what they're explaining. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, you know, there are people that see this and they're like, how dare you make a foreigner a chief in this village and all of these things. My thing is this: what are the normal criteria to make somebody a chief? Does he, okay, from what they said, he's not a chief of the community, he's not a chief of the village or whatever, he's a chief, a trader kind of a chief, and from what they're saying, that's what it is. But at the same time, I just wonder, I don't know, I've never been to the northern part of Nigeria ever, I just wonder, is it just something that is done for the Chinese? Is there a leader of the Yoruba traders? Is there a leader for the Igbo traders? Is there a leader for other people? Or is it just something done for the Chinese? Because if it's just something, a special privilege given to the Chinese, okay, then we'll begin to worry that, okay, what's going on? Why would you give them a special privilege, you know, to get this title? But if it's something that is normal, that they're doing it with other, like, let's say with other people, maybe they have Spanish ones and they have the Italian chief for their own people, or depending on the Igbo, do they have Igbo chiefs in the same marketplace, or do they ever have Yoruba chiefs, or is this something that is done for the Chinese? Because if it's just for the Chinese, then that is when I feel like we have to start saying, okay, what's going on? You know, there shouldn't be this preferential treatment or whatever. But if that is the normal thing for that community, that is nothing new, they do it with other people, and that's fine. Because my take on this is this: there are a lot of Nigerians that have gone abroad and they have been made mayors, and they've been made judges. Nigerians have become police officers, have gone into the army. You know, Nigerians that have gone into a lot of countries and have, you know, been allowed to hold big positions in politics or whatever, even in law. There was another one, was, you know, last year or this year, that was a Nigerian, was a judge, was made a judge in one state in America. So my thing is this: the normal criteria, as long as the normal criteria of the land to become a particular whatever, if somebody meets it and you know, somebody meets it and gets into a position, that's fine. You know what I mean? So I just, like I said, hopefully I'm hoping that this Chinese guy meets the criteria. It's not a preferential treatment. Another thing, again, there was a time there was in the news that a Chinese, I think Chinese people were being made police officers in one African country, and so people went crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, honestly, there are a lot of Nigerians or Africans are going abroad and joining the army and joining the police force and joining politics. And my thing is this: did they meet the criteria, or did you just hand it to them because they are Chinese? And a lot of Africans are worried about, you know, Chinese, and they think, oh, Chinese are going to invade, they're going to take over Africa, they're going to do, there are a lot of worries. Some people are really anxious about, you know, the amount of Chinese, you know, that are coming into our communities and into our countries, and they are taking up positions, and people are like, what's going on, what's going on, and stuff like that. There's a lot of anxiety around these things, to be honest with you. There are a lot of anxieties. So on the other side, then somewhere else in the news, Nigeria is, believe it or not, the FEC has just approved another $1 billion Chinese loan. And basically, this is news on the Punch News, and it says the Federal Executive Council has approved another $1 billion Chinese loan. It will be sourced from the China Exim Bank for the Gurara 2 hydropower project. The power project is planned to generate 360 megawatts of electricity. Minister for Water Resources, Mr. Suleiman Adamu, has just confirmed the approval of the loan by FEC. And then it says President Muhammadu Buhari presided over the FEC meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. So some people are saying, okay, we are borrowing so much from China, we're becoming indebted to China, and what's next? Is like it's just, you know, some people are really anxious about these things, and it's just, and you see the way they call billions, you know, 1 billion, just dollars, not naira, $1 billion that they are, you know, borrowing from China. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys saw this thing that was posted by Sahara reporters. The governor of the central bank and his colleagues were trying to cover up 500 billion naira they stole. Did you hear? I don't know if you heard me. They were trying to cover up 500 billion naira that they stole. It's there on Sahara Reporter. I'll put a link if you guys want to go and check it out. And they are discussing at length what they should do. And like, it was actually leaked audio recording, and, you know, leaked audio recording of them discussing how to cover it up. And when you know, some people say I cry too much. These are the kind of things that upset me. Like, you know, these are the kind of things that upset me. And they're calling billions. You know, when they call billions, and they're calling all this huge amount of money in a country that our people are so poor. Our people are so poor, and our poverty is not because we don't have a means to ensure that everybody can at least have basic standard of living. Our biggest problem is corruption. they're calling billions and billions. They don't even operate they don't even operate on millions anymore. It's billions. And while they are mentioning billions, there's a family somewhere that does not even have money to buy gari to drink in our country. They don't even have money to buy ordinary gari and granite. Forget about granite. Ordinary gari to drink. While some other people are trying to cover up 500 billion. You see what our problem is? Not much money in our country, but the problem is that the money is in the hands of a few. The money that belongs to the people is in the hands of a few. So some people are so rich, while some people are so poor. Like, is that bad? You know, some people are so rich and some people are so poor. In our country, there's corruption in every angle, every area of our country. And you know, when I was listening to that audio, you know, so-called leaked audio, the only thing that came to my mind is how they are mentioning billions. And there is a family right now that are hungry. They have no food to eat, right? In that same country, while some people are looking for a way to cover billions. You would think they were talking about like cents. They're calling billions. And I just thought to myself, this is where the money of the country goes. Nobody cares about the poor. Nobody cares in that country. Nobody cares about the poor. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And you know, that audio on Sahara reporters is so sad to listen to. It's like, it just breaks your heart. It breaks your heart just to know that there are people that are supposed to be there for the people, there for the community. No, they don't care. They just don't care. You know, not just our politicians don't care. You know, the pastors don't care. You know, there's so many people at the top do not care. And the worst part is that, you know, you don't see an end in sight. There seems to be no end in sight. You know, I don't know. Anyways, so that's my 2 cents. Anyways, that's my 2 cents about the Chinese guy that you know, what's it called, that is being made the chief. For those of you that know that have been to the north, if you know more, you can share with us. Just let us know, is that something done specifically for the Chinese, or are they doing it also for other people? Like, do they have the Nigerian community chief as well and the Yoruba community chief as well? Because I don't know, because I've never been to that part of the country. Anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Just, you know, I'll put the link for Sahara Reporter. You can all go and check it out. And with that, I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye.